Good morning, everyone. How are you this morning on this fine day of the moon, Monday? Well, I hope you had a great weekend. I know I did. The after effects of this weekend should be rolling in pretty soon. Probably going to take about another week or so. But, remember I said we're coming out of the darkness of the eclipse, which was kind of messing with us all, back into the light of the moon. I meant that sort of like figuratively. And the message was to, last week, to drop all the fear, the paranoia, the guilt, the shame, the doubt. Focus on what you love. Focus on it intensely. Act on it. And watch all the positive changes begin happening. Well, I can tell you one thing. It worked. It worked for me. I don't know what you did. I'm kind of curious as to what you did over the weekend, though. If you took the advice from all last week and you worked on it and it worked, drop a comment. Doesn't matter where you drop that comment. You know, did it work? Well, it did for me. So, excuse me. Wow. Okay, that was a little much. So once again, I am incorporating some tarot into Moonology Monday. However, it will be the Moonology cards that are going to take center stage here. They are the focus. So this is going to be you, your present situation, action, potential outcome, or warning. And then we'll work with the Moonology to kind of get a much clearer picture of what's going on and where you're headed for the start of this week. I'd also like to apologize to my people who watch me on high notes. I was actually in the middle of recording the video for the second time because I kind of screwed up the first take. I was in the middle of the second take and I got a text message that I was urgently needed at work. Yeah, go figure. It didn't let me off any earlier either. Normally it does, but this time it didn't. And I wasn't in one of my favorite spots for I was being piled on with stuff and I didn't get to it all. I gotta admit that. But got to what I could. Anyway, starting with you, we are the Knight of Cups in reverse. The Knight of Cups, this is that very slow-moving emotions and things like that. But this one, I think some of us are probably a little beat up from this weekend, mentally speaking. Because I've seen it. Some of us really kind of got in there. But it looks like we're dealing with there's something fraudulent here. There's something dishonest. Ladies and gentlemen, don't do that. Don't do it. If you're thinking about using some kind of a little trickery and deception, I don't think today is going to be a good day for it, but I can see that. So, we're starting out with something about us that isn't genuine. Something about us that's a little duplicitous, if you will. And so, in our present situation, which is a 3 of Wands, action is going to be a reverse Page of Swords, and then a reverse 2 of Wands. Okay. So we're out here. We're seeing our possibilities. We're seeing our the fruits of our labors. And then we move into that Page of Swords, which, like I said, I'm not exactly Not exactly a fan of the Page of Swords, but in this one, this is there is a sort of evil side to what it is we're celebrating. This collaborative effort, there is an evil side to it. And we're woefully unprepared for it. And that's a problem. Because anytime you're unprepared for a situation, it can, well, yeah, it can take you by surprise, right? Which is what that Two of Wands in reverse is. That is definitely something taking us by surprise. So, again, let's start with this Knight of Cups in reverse. Knight of Cups in reverse, there's something duplicitous right there inside of us. And we're seeing our current situation as we've got to work together to make a common goal happen. But at the same time, we are woefully unprepared for potential outcomes here. And those potential outcomes will end up taking us by surprise. And the last thing we want is surprises right now. So how do we deal with that? Well, let's go to our Moonology cards. We got a full moon eclipse here. We just came out of an eclipse. Sorry. But this one says that the conclusions are within our reach. Definitely seconded by that Three of Wands there. That collaborative approach. It's okay to believe in the impossible. It's okay to take that role on. Well, there's a quote, and I saw it in the movie The Arrival, and it said, it was on a plaque, it said, "A man's reach must be beyond his grasp, otherwise what's paradise for?" Or what's heaven for, something like that. So, if you know the actual quote, comment. It's been a long time since I've seen that movie. But I do remember it was Robert Browning. I do remember that's what was being said. And potential outcome is a time for healing. So it looks like we're still continuing off of last week. We're still kind of banging off that energy there. Ladies and gentlemen, this is no time to be fake. You know, there's a song called Fire Emojis by Tom MacDonald, and it says, and Mad Child, he kind of clinches the ending. And he said, "Coming back into the game, but watch for bitches and fakes, and listen closely, because I can hear the whispering of snakes." Let those words sink in. Coming back into the game, but watch for bitches and fakes, and listen closely, because I can hear the hiss and whispering of snakes. Are you taking part in that? Are you one of the ones that are... Looks like we're one of the ones that are whispering behind the backs of others. Yeah, that could be us too. It could be me, it could be you. That's a hard truth to face, but it's a truth. We're not really above some of the drama that we put out there sometimes. But where it ends, and where we can avoid this little bit of a warning sign here, where we can avoid the our own duplicitous nature and the believe me, it shouldn't come as a surprise when our duplicitous nature suddenly shows what we think is an unexpected result. We can go back and look and say, well, how did that happen? Oh, I did say that. Yep, sure did. Now look at the mess I've created. You need time for healing. You need time for rest. You need time for recuperation. I know I didn't unplug this weekend. Many of you saw me on Twitter here and there. Spent a lot of time talking to a couple people. Very nice people. People I'll shout out right now. Yodano. and Diane over at what was it, Quarter Castle Publishing? I think that was the name. If not, I'll correct it on the screen. But definite shout outs to those two. Also, let me talk for a little bit in a seemingly unrelated thing. One of the things that I've done is I've noticed that there are people who are constantly running purity tests, and anyone who fails those purity tests, which I intentionally fail them because, well, you're not going to control me. Puritans, that's what they love to do. They love to control people. And one of the things that occurred was Twitter sees it fit that because I'm talking about tabletop RPGs, they've never done this with tarot, I've noticed. They will shove everyone with these antagonistic points of view into my feed, and I used to engage them until one day I kind of looked up from my phone, realized it was getting dark, realized my phone battery was low, realizing my phone was kind of warm, and realized I'd wasted an entire day sitting here on my couch, engaging these idiots, not getting anywhere, block, 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 block across both sides of the aisle. And I realized I could have spent that day painting miniatures. I could have spent that day writing something. I could have spent that day working on one of my world maps. And I did none of those because I was too busy engaged in that drama. So I decided to take a negative and turn it into a positive. And on my pinned tweet, you'll see it. I've presented a third option. You see, option one, ignore them and constantly let them clutter your feed with crap like this. Option two is to go through and pick through every one of those little tweets because they inundate you with them and waste more time trying to just get rid of them. And it won't stop anything. That algorithm will simply churn out more. Third option here is to engage them and try to appeal to any sense of reason or logic, only for it to fail miserably and watch them devolve into ad hominem attack on you, more likely than not. But I propose a fourth option. Every time someone whines about things that just aren't there in the game, every time someone claims they're going to get rid of you from the hobby, you simply go and purchase a book from an independent creator. Very simple. Very simple, very effective, and it works. Right now, I was actually just forwarded Friday, I think, a copy of the D12 role-playing system. And I've been able to go through some of it. I haven't been able to go through much of it. This weekend was kind of busy. But I bought something like 10 books from a few different sources. And now I'm just waiting for those books to be, some of them to be printed, and all of them to be shipped. I back creators that I really believe in. I back books that I knew something about because I got the free PDFs. Now I'm looking at having the physical book. But that's what I do. And now every time one of these people comes in to virtue signal or talk down to people like myself who've been in this thing for several years or more, a couple decades maybe, I just buy another book. One that's not theirs. Vote with my wallet. It's the most effective thing that can be done. If you doubt, look at what happened to Netflix. Just saying. Anyway, I believe by enjoying what we enjoy without permission, consent, or approval from these folks, we can achieve the impossible. Our conclusions are in reach. We can heal. We can move forward. And there's nothing duplicitous about that. That's what I genuinely want. Just to enjoy something. And enjoy it with you. Cup of tea, perhaps. Tarot and oracle reading. Doesn't matter. That's where I'm going with it. Now, it is entirely optional. Yes, I will count PDFs if that's what you can afford. If you just don't have the space for physical books, yes, buy the PDFs. That's fine. But there's one thing that matters most, and it's this. I want to thank each and every one of you for joining me. I want to thank each and every one of you for hanging around and listening to me ramble at end like this after the reading. Just wanted to share my weekend and how it went. And just remember, I love you all. Take care of yourselves and each other. Just remember to always do what lights you up. Don't overthink it. Just do what lights you up from within. That's it. Damn anyone else. They don't want you to exist in that space. Hey, tough shit, I'm here. There's nothing you're going to do about it. Do that. Do that thing, however you can. And do it at every opportunity. And remember, my friends, family, neighbors, tribe, shine on. Yeah, it's a little post-credit scene, why not? So, the Natural Ones live stream from the Basic Expert, it's still in the description down below. Sorry. I will not be there this week. And the reason I won't be there this week is because I'm having to close, and that happens about the same time as the Natural Ones live stream. Normally, though, I am there, and you'll find me hanging out in the chat room, just yucking it up and having a great time. So it's always a fun experience. It's always a fun experience hanging with those guys. So tonight, if you have the opportunity, and you really want to know a little bit more about what it is we're like, well, you know, the types of people I hang around, you want to know what we're like? You'll never find a more lovable, level-headed group of fantastic nerds like those on the Basic Experts Natural Ones live stream. Not only that, but you get to watch some pretty amazing art being created. And it's just it's a couple little hours out of your day. Why don't you go check them out? Why don't you go tell them Raven sent you? And then just hang out for a little while. Watch some art being created. Watch conversations being had. You know what, if it's going on when I get home, well, maybe I'll hop in for a little bit to say hello. Don't know how that's going to go just yet. We'll see. I hope to be home in time to catch at least a little bit of it and just kind of hop in the chat and say hello and hang out for at least a few. I don't know that's going to be the case though. Anyway, go check them out. Alright? See you on high notes. For real this time. See ya.